Welcome to today's discussion. We'll be exploring a thought-provoking article from Psychology Today, The Greatest Lesson of Love Taught by Donald Trump. The author uses the Trump presidency as a lens to examine toxic relationships. What are your initial thoughts on using such a controversial figure to illustrate a point about love?
It's a bold and potentially divisive choice, but the author's intention seems to be to highlight the parallels between a toxic political climate and toxic personal relationships. The article argues that ignoring warning signs in either context can lead to significant harm. It's a provocative way to engage readers and make a point about recognizing and avoiding harmful relationships.
The article emphasizes the importance of recognizing and avoiding toxic relationships. How does it define a toxic relationship, and what are some key warning signs it highlights?
The article uses Trump's actions, his hate-mongering, narcissism, dishonesty, and bullying as examples of toxic behavior. It translates these behaviors into the context of personal relationships, suggesting that similar patterns of manipulation, disregard for others' feelings, and a lack of accountability are red flags. The warning signs are presented as a pattern of behavior rather than isolated incidents.
The article mentions that even when warning signs are present, people often stay in toxic relationships. What are some of the reasons it gives for this persistence?
The article suggests several reasons. The initial attraction or love can be blinding, making it difficult to see the negative aspects. The fear of being alone, the sunk cost fallacy, investing so much time and energy that leaving feels impossible, and the escalation of stakes as the relationship progresses all contribute to staying in a harmful situation. The author also points out the difficulty of leaving once a commitment is made.
The article draws a parallel between the Trump presidency and toxic relationships, progressing through stages of escalation. Can you summarize these stages?
The article describes a progression. Initially, there are blatant warning signs that are ignored. Then, the toxic behavior intensifies, but supporters/partners rationalize or minimize it. Finally, the relationship becomes increasingly dangerous and abusive, with the abuser gaslighting the victim and controlling their perception of reality. This mirrors the author's view of the Trump presidency's escalation.
The author uses a powerful analogy of a fish being hooked and reeled in to describe the situation. What's the significance of this analogy?
The analogy powerfully illustrates the feeling of helplessness and entrapment that can occur in a toxic relationship or a political situation. The fish's struggle, despite its ultimate capture, represents the futile attempts to resist the power of the abuser or the toxic system. It emphasizes the importance of recognizing the trap early on.
The article concludes with a strong call to action saying no to toxic relationships. What does this no entail, and how could it be implemented in both personal and political contexts?
The no represents a firm and unwavering refusal to tolerate abuse or harmful behavior. In personal relationships, it means setting boundaries, prioritizing self-respect, and leaving the relationship if necessary. In the political context, it could involve actively opposing harmful policies, supporting organizations that fight for justice, and holding leaders accountable. It's about choosing one's values over convenience or fear.